Alright, sorry, time ran out again. It's getting crazy, man. Um, but like I was saying, I had kept losing money, and it just kept getting, really discouraged, and um, I just kept talking to him. He'd always have, something really crazy to say, and he'd always kept saying, just make sure you're happy, just go forth and conquer. And he said, don't look at it as like, you're losing money when you do this. He says, you have to look at it as like you're investing in your future. Just like college, you said, you just go along the way and you just keep trying. And he said, just don't give up. And he said, I promise you, you'll be living the dream. Um, and, for the longest time, it was hard to believe, but at the same time, um, it wasn't that hard to believe because, I seen he was doing it. And it wasn't just one of those things where you just heard of somebody doing it and whatnot. It's like I seen it happen. I've had him tell me where to start, and he just said now you just gotta do the rest. And I kept at it. Probably not as much as I should, but I kept doing it. Kept trying, and granted I was losing a lot of money, and uh, it was getting hard and hard and hard, and I just, I wanted to give up, and I did it. I did give up a few times, and but I just came back, and um, but and then just, a while back, well, not really a while back, but it was about a year or two ago, I started doing this again. Um, I just didn't give up, I just kept pushing, and at the time I was still losing a lot of money, and I started, making a little more money a day. Then I started breaking even. Next thing you know, I was bringing in, um, a decent amount. Um, but what I'm trying to say is, uh, just don't give up, because if I would have gave up, as I was doing that, just because it was getting hard, um, I would not know what I know now, and I would not be where I am now, and I would not be uh, okay with what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've now found um, that I'm not gonna ever gonna have to work another like 9 to 5 job or anything like that. Um, and, it's nice. Like like I can also say I'm not going to college for a job. I'm not going to get a degree so I can come out and try to go get a job. I'm going to college to help me do my job right now better. Um, and it's nice. Like and I really really love doing it. Uh, and it's something I really do have a passion for. Because I do love marketing. It's always really intrigued me, and I've always been really interested in it. But I was always scared to jump into it because it was an area that I really didn't know anything about. I knew I had the computer skills to do it, but I didn't have the knowledge to do it, and it was out of my comfort zone. So I always try to stay away from it a little bit just because I wasn't totally sure about everything. But I just decided just to go into it, um, and just take that risk because worst comes to worst, uh, I can try, and if I give my all and it doesn't work, then I can honestly say that it didn't work, and there will be no such thing as looking back, like, oh man, what if I would have done that when I was younger? What if I would have started doing that? Where would I be at now? It'd be crazy. Because I can no longer say that because I took that chance and I went out of my comfort zone, and I took that risk, and it's paid off. Um, so I think what I'm saying now is, just go out there and do the damn thing. I mean, just go for it. I mean, I don't care, um, how crazy your dream is, or how crazy you want to live, and what you want to do. Don't let anything hold you back. Um, I mean, just set it in your fucking head. Who the fuck is texting me at 5:30 in the morning? Just set it in your fucking head that it's what you want to do, and do something that you love. Like, do something that you really really have passion for, not something that you like, not something that you feel like you can deal with for the rest of your life. Not some mediocre thing. And and most of all, don't um, put yourself under. Um, don't ever think you cannot do something, because you can. uh, I mean, I don't care. I don't care if you have a fucking passion for space and you want to be an astronaut. Um, don't laugh at that career. Don't laugh at the fact that you think you can never be an astronaut, because you can. Granted, it might take a little more extra work, and you might have to walk through the rain a little bit longer, but I promise you, if if you just put on that raincoat and you just keep walking through that rain, you will end up with that rainbow, and you will live the dream that you've always wanted to live. Um, and then you can look back, and say, I did it. It's something I accomplished, and this is what I have always wanted to do with my life, and I'm doing it. And that's something that not very many people can say. Um, there's a very very few people that can honestly say, I'm doing exactly what I love, and there's nothing more to it. This is what I have always wanted. Um, so be that person. I mean, um, be that person. That you can look back, and you can tell your friends, I did it. All the people, all the friends, family, and everybody else, said that, just stop. And I mean, just people that are putting you down. Don't don't listen to them. Instead of listening to them, just tell them. Just say, watch me, um, and just go do it. Don't talk about it. Don't. Um, I mean, just don't let people put you down. I feel like that's the biggest thing today's society is, media, and society itself, putting people down and telling you that you can't do things. So I don't know. I'm getting tired. This is the third damn video. This is like a 20-30 minute fucking compilation of videos that I just made, which is crazy. I did not expect this at all, but I don't know. There's so much to say, and I've got so much more to say, but I'm gonna stop here because I'm getting tired. And somebody messaged me on Facebook at 5:30 in the morning. Um, Fuck, man. But anyways, yeah. I know there's probably not a lot of people that's gonna even watch all these videos, but I just go do the damn thing, make shit happen, and live your fucking dream. That's all I can say. So you guys take it easy, and just remember one thing: just don't give up, man.